In this video project, you will learn the basics of isometric drawings in AutoCAD using these drawings. AutoCAD have the 2D workspace, the isometric workspace, and the 3D workspace. These three workspaces can be found under the model space. The paper space, which is another layout area, is dedicated for printing purposes. In the paper space layout area, you can select your paper size, lay out your drawings as you want before sending it to the printer or to the plotter. But for a quick printing, you can print from the model space using the window option from the print dialog box. At the end of this video, you will learn how to print your drawing, and the same principle applies whether you're printing a 2D drawing, an isometric drawing, or a 3D model drawing. An isometric drawing is not a 3D solid object. It gives you an illusion of a 3D object. We can say it lies between 2D and 3D objects. A good knowledge of using 2D workspace, isometric workspace, and 3D workspace will help you in your design skills. The first step is to load AutoCAD. Before we get started with the drawing, let's select the angle that we want to work with. Next, we're going to select the angle that we want to work with. Type OSNAP, O-S-N-A-P. Press the Enter key. A dialog box will appear. From these tabs, click Polar Tracking. From the Increment Angle, click this pull-down menu and choose 30 degrees. Click. Next, make sure that your polar tracking is turned on. Next, ensure that polar tracking is turned on, or you can press F10 on your keyboard, or you can hold down the function key on your keyboard before you press F10 for some keyboards. Here, I will check this box to turn on polar tracking. Next, on this tab, click Object Snap. Ensure that you click Select All. Next, click OK. Next, let's turn off the grid mode by unchecking this icon. I will click this. You can also use F7 on the keyboard, or you hold down the function key on the keyboard while you press F7. This depends on the configuration of your computer. Next, let's switch from 2D workspace to isometric workspace. Observe the crosshair. This crosshair will change when I switch from 2D workspace to the isometric workspace. To switch from 2D to isometric, I will click this ISO draft by turning it on. If I click this, you can observe that our crosshair has changed. Now we are ready to work in the isometric workspace. Next, I will click the polyline tool. Click. Next, I will pick a point here on the screen. Click, and you are going to see that this is tracking. This is 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, 120 degrees, 150 degrees. This is 180 degrees. This is 210 degrees. This is 240 degrees. This is 270 degrees, 300 degrees, 330 degrees, and we are back to 0 degrees, equivalent to 360. Next, I will track this 30 degrees. Once I see these dotted tracked lines, I will enter a required value. Next, let's draw a cube box in isometric workspace. click the line tool or the polyline tool. Click. Pick a point on the screen. Track 0 degrees. Type 100. Press enter twice. Pick the line tool again or the polyline tool. Click. Locate the midpoint of this line. Click. Track 30 degrees. Type 100. Press enter. Track 90 degrees and type 100. Press enter twice. Next, click the line tool or the polyline tool. Click. Locate this midpoint of the line, which is the end point of this line. Click. Track 150. Type 100. Press enter. Track 90 degrees. Type 100. Press enter on the keyboard. Press enter again to cut it. Next, pick the line tool or the polyline tool. Click this point. Track 90 degrees up. Type 100. Press enter twice. Next, pick the polyline tool. Click. Click this point. Click this point. Click this point. Next, track 150. Type 100. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, click this endpoint. Click and press enter on the keyboard. Now you have this. Next, pick the line tool. Click. Locate the center of this line, the midpoint. Click and click the opposite midpoint. Click. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, I'll press enter again to activate the last command, which is the line tool, or I can click the line tool. Click. Locate this midpoint. Click. Locate the opposite midpoint. Click. Press enter. Next, pick the line tool again. Click this midpoint. Click the opposite midpoint. Click and press enter on the keyboard. Circles do not work fine on isometric workspace. For example, if you click the circle command and pick a point, the circle is usually a 2D circle. I will press escape on the keyboard. Instead of the circle command, we're going to click ellipse, and from this pull down menu, I will choose axis end. Click. Next, I will type I for isometric and press enter on the keyboard. Next, I will click the center of this line, which is this point, the midpoint. Click and release your hands from the mouse. You're going to have this. Next, press F5 on the keyboard. With some keyboards, you need to hold Fn on the keyboard before you press F5. While some keyboard, you just press F5 like this and it will respond. You can see that we have 3 planes for the ISO circle. I'll press F5 again. Now I need this. With this, I will type 30 on the keyboard and press enter. I will click this line and press delete on the keyboard. We should have this. Next, I will click this pull down menu from the ellipse. I will choose axis end. Next, I will click this ISO circle, or I will type I on the keyboard and press enter. This time around, I will click ISO circle. Next, I will specify the center of this line. Click. This is not the plane that I'm looking for. Next, I'll press F5 on the keyboard, and this is not what I want. I'll press F5 again. Now this is what I want. I will type 30 on the keyboard and press enter. Next, I will click this line and press delete on the keyboard. Next, I will click this pull down menu from the ellipse tool. Choose axis end. Click. Next, I will type I for isometric and press enter on the keyboard. Next, click the center of this line, the midpoint. Click. This is not the geometry that I want. I'll press F5 on the keyboard. This is not the geometry that I want. I'll press F5 again on the keyboard. Now this is what I want. I will type the value for the radius of the circle, which is 30. I will type 30 and press enter on the keyboard. Next, I will click this line and press delete on the keyboard. Now I have this. Next, I will click all these lines, only the lines. Next, I will click line weight. This pull down menu, click. I will choose 0.30 millimeter. Click. Next, I will click this by layer and choose a color, any color of your choice. Press escape on the keyboard. If nothing happens after you choose a line weight, to display the thickness of the lines, type line weight on the keyboard and press enter. This dialog box will appear. Make sure that display line weight is checked. Then you click OK. You will see the line weight that you have chosen here. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, zoom a bit open by using your roller mouse and by panning the roller mouse. Next, I will click this circle at the top. I will click copy. From this center, click. Make sure your hands is straight. Come down to 70 degrees. Type 10 on the keyboard and press enter on the keyboard. Press escape or you press enter the second time. Now you have this. Next, type trim. Press enter twice. Click this part of the circle. Trim it off and press enter on the keyboard. Next, click this circle on the left. Click copy. Locate the center of this circle. Click. Direct your hands 30 degrees inside. Type 10. Press enter twice. Next, type trim. Press enter twice. This outer circle, trim it off and press enter. Next, click this circle. Click copy. Locate the center of this circle. Click. Track 180 degrees. Type 10 and press enter twice. Next, type trim. Press enter twice and trim this part off and press enter on the keyboard. Next, type hatch and press enter on the keyboard. This menu will change. Change this from pattern to solid. Click and choose any color of your choice. Let me choose this magenta. Click. Click this point and press enter on the keyboard. Press enter again. Let's choose a different color. Let me go for yellow. Click here and press enter on the keyboard. Press enter again. Change the color to green. Click this part and press enter on the keyboard. Press enter again. This time around, I will go for red color. Click. Click this part. Click this part. Click this part and press enter on the keyboard. And we are going to have this. Next, let's dimension this. From this pull down menu, choose align. Click. Click this point. Click this point and click anywhere out here. Next, press enter again. Click this point. Click this point and click out like this. Use your roller mouse to position this well. Next, press enter again. Click this point and drop it here. Press enter again. Click this point and drop it here. Press enter again. Click this point and drop it here. Press enter again. Click this point and drop it here. Now we have this. Next, click each of these dimensioned lines. Type PROP and press enter on the keyboard. This dialog box will appear, especially on this left hand side. Scroll down under text and from the text height you will see 2.5. Delete this 2.5. Type 5 and press enter on the keyboard. We're going to increase this again. Delete the 5. Let's go for 8. Type 8 and press enter. Let's leave it at 8. Now the dimension is visible. Press escape on the keyboard. Now we're going to close the property dialog box. Cancel this. Close. Next, for this 100, I'll press escape on the keyboard. I will pick the line tool, pick this point. I will track. This is 30 degrees. Next, I'll press escape. This line just helped me to know how I will align this dimension. Next, I will type dim edit and press enter on the keyboard. Next, click on oblique. Click on this. This will lie down 30 degrees. This will also lie down 30 degrees. So I will click both of them. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, type 30 for 30 degrees. Observe how both of them will lie down along 30 degrees. Press enter on the keyboard. Now we have this. Next, I will click the line tool. From this point, I will click. I will track. Here, I can see 150. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, I will type dim edit. Press enter on the keyboard. Click oblique. Next, click this and this. Both will lie down at 150 degrees. Press enter and type 150. Press enter. You see both now lies along the path of 150. I will click this and stretch this for both to be aligned. Next, these both are aligned, but I will click this and align this properly. Now I'll press escape on the keyboard. Next, for this 100, press escape on the keyboard. Click the line tool. Pick a point. Track down to 70 degrees. Press escape. Next, type dim edit. Press enter. Next, click oblique. Click this. Press enter on the keyboard. Type 270 and press enter. Now you have this. This will also lie down to 70 degrees. Press escape on the keyboard. Type dim edit. Press enter. Click oblique. Click this. Press enter. Type 270 and press enter. Now you have this. Click this and pull this down so that both will be aligned. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, highlight all this and choose gray color. Press escape on the keyboard. Now you are going to have this. Next, click on this line and choose a different color. Make this gray. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, pick the line tool. Pick this point and track 150. Click any point here. Click and press enter. Pick the line tool again. Click this point. Track 30 degrees off anywhere along this point. Click and press enter. Next, from this pull down menu, choose angular. Click this line out here and click this line, and you're going to have 30 degrees. Click this and leave it there. Next, click angular again. Click this line here and click this line. Click and leave it here. Next, click this and click this. Both. Type prop for properties, and from this dialog box, scroll down from the text section under text height. Delete 2.5 and increase it to 5 and press enter. This is now visible. Close this box and press escape on the keyboard. Next, click this and change it to light gray. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, type zoom and press enter. Create a window around this. Click. Next, click this line, press delete on the keyboard. Now you should have this. With this knowledge, let's design a staircase with a door at the top floor. Let's start with the staircase outline. Next, I will click the polyline tool. Click. Next, I will pick a point here on the screen. Click, and you are going to see that this is tracking. Next, I will track this up by 90 degrees. I will type 150. I will press enter. Next, I will track this 30 degrees. I will type 200. I will press enter. Next, I will track up 150. I'll press enter. I will track again 30 degrees. I will type 200 and press enter. I will track up 150. I will type 150, press enter. I will track 30 degrees, type 200 and press enter. Next, I will track up 150, press enter. I will track 30 degrees. I will type 200 and press enter. Next, I will use the ruler mouse to rule this object. I can pan this to create space. I will go up, type 150, press enter. I will track 30, type 200 and press enter. I will track up 150 and press enter. I will track 30 degrees, type 200, press enter. Track up 150, press enter. I will track by 30 degrees, type 200, press enter. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I want 11. I will track up, type 150, press enter. That is a riser, 30 degrees, 200. I will track up, type 150, press enter. I will track 30 degrees, 200 and press enter. I will track 30 degrees, 200, press enter. I did this twice, so I will do Ctrl Z. You see, Ctrl Z will return it back for me to fix my mistake. I will track up 150 and press enter. Track 30 degrees, type 200 and press enter. Then you need to check if it's up to 11. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going for this 10th one. Track up 150. Press enter. Go this way 30 degrees. Type 200 and press enter. This is the 11th one. With this, I'll press enter twice to cut it. Because I used a polyline, if I click any part of this staircase, everything is highlighted. I'll press escape on the keyboard. Next, I will click the line tool. Next, I will click this endpoint. Click. I will track 150. Type 1000. Press enter twice. Next, click this. Next, click copy. Click. Click this point and click this point. Click and press enter. Next, with the line tool, click. Click this point and click this opposite point and press enter. Click the line tool again. Click this point and press enter. Press enter again on the keyboard to activate the last command, which is the line tool. Click this point and press enter. Activate the line tool again. Click this point and press enter. Activate the line tool again. Click this point and press enter. I will continue doing this until I get to this endpoint by continuously clicking the line tool and clicking the two opposite points and press enter. And for this last one, I'll pick the line tool, click this point, and press the enter key. Now we have this. Next, pick the line tool, click this point, track down by 90 degrees. Type 3000. Press enter twice. Next, pick the line tool again. Click this endpoint. Click. Track 30 degrees. Type 3000. Enter twice. Next, type trim. Press enter twice. Trim here off, and press enter on the keyboard. Next, zoom open. Click the line tool. Click this point and click this opposite point. Here. Click and press enter on the keyboard. You should have this. Next, let's hatch the staircase with a suitable color. Next, type hatch on the keyboard. H-A-T-C-H. Press enter. This menu will change. Click here. Change this from pattern to solid. Click solid. Next, this hatch color. Click. Select any color of your choice. Let me use this yellow color. Click. Click this, click this part, 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 click here and press enter. Next, press enter on the keyboard to activate the last command, which is the hatch command. You can also type hatch to activate this command. Next, I will leave this still under yellow, and for the color, let me go for green. Click here, this part, here, and press enter on the keyboard. Next, I will type hatch again, and this time around, choose a different color. I'm going to choose this magenta. I will use it for each of these parts of the staircase. I'll press enter on the keyboard and we should have this. Next, let's design the landing floor area. Next, pick the polyline tool. Click this point, track 150, type 1000, press enter. Next, track 30 degrees, type 1000, press enter. Track 330 degrees, type 2000, press enter. Click this point of the staircase, click and press enter. You should have this. Next, pick the line tool. Click this point, track down by 90, type 3000, press enter twice. Pick the line tool again. Click this point, track 30 degrees, type 2000, press enter twice. Next, type trim, press enter twice. Trim here off and trim this part off. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, click the line tool. Click this point, track down. Keep your hands straight at 90 degrees until you click this point and press enter. You should have this. Next, let's design an entrance door at the top floor. Next, let's design an entrance door for the top floor. To design a door, click the polyline tool. Click, pick a point, track 30 degrees, type 900, press enter. Track down 270 degrees, type 2100. 2100, press enter. Track 210, 900, press enter. Click this end point where we started, or you can type 2100 and press enter twice. I will click this point and press enter. Next, I will click the polyline tool again. I will click this point, track 150. I will type 50 and press enter. I will track 210, type 900, press enter. I will track down 270, type 2100, press enter. Next, I will click this point and press enter on the keyboard. You should have this. Next, pick the line tool. Pick this point and press enter on the keyboard. You should have this. Next, click the polyline tool. Pick this point, track 30 degrees, type 250, press enter. Track down, type 800, press enter. Track 210, type 250, press enter. Next, go up, click this point and press enter on the keyboard. You should have this. Next, type offset and press enter. Type 30 and press enter. Zoom open. Click this line and click inside and press enter on the keyboard. You should have this. Next, click the polyline tool. Click this point, track down, type 100 and press enter. Track 210 and click any point along this track. Click and press enter. Next, click the polyline tool. Click this point, track up, type 100, press enter. It will cut along this path. Track along this line. Click and press enter. You should have this. Next, type trim. Press enter twice. Trim here and trim here. Trim here and trim this part off. Next, press enter on the keyboard. Next, pick the line tool. Click. Locate the midpoint of this line. Click. And locate the midpoint of the opposite line. Click and press enter on the keyboard. Next, click the line tool. Click this point and click this point and press enter. This is a superimposed line. Press escape on the keyboard. Highlight this rectangle, both of them. Click move. Click. Pick it from this midpoint at the top. Click. And locate the midpoint of this line. Click. Click this line. Press delete on the keyboard. Next, click the line tool. Click. Click this point and click this midpoint. Press enter. This is a superimposed line. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, click these two rectangles. Click copy. Pick it from this midpoint at the top. Click and locate this line. Click and press enter on the keyboard. Click this line. Press delete on the keyboard. Click this line. Press delete on the keyboard. Next, pick the line tool. Click this point and click this point. Press enter. I just need only one superimposed line here. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, click these two rectangles. Next, click these two rectangles. Click copy. Click. Next, locate this base midpoint. Click and click this midpoint down here. Click and press enter on the keyboard. Next, click this line. Press delete on the keyboard. Click this line. Press delete on the keyboard. Next, click this line, press delete on the keyboard. Now we have this door. Next, type hatch and press enter on the keyboard. Still under solid, change this color to any other color of your choice. I will choose this color. Click here, press enter. Activate the hash command again. This time around, I will change the color to this. Click here, press enter. Activate the hash command again. I will change this solid to a pattern. I will change this color to light gray. For the pattern, I will click this little pull down menu. I will choose ANS 137. Click. I will click this, click this, click this, click this. I will go up here under the hash pattern scale. I will highlight this. Let's increase this to 10 and press enter. Let me try 15. Press enter. Think this is fine. I'll just press enter on the keyboard. Now we have this. Next, I will highlight this entire door. Type group and press enter on the keyboard. Next, I will pick the line tool. Click this point, track 30 degrees and click the opposite midpoint. Click and press enter. Next, I will type hatch to activate the hatch command again. Press enter on the keyboard. Still under pattern, I will click here to pull this down. I will scroll down and look for gravel. Click here, press enter. I will click this, change the scale to 5, press enter. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, I will click this door. Click copy. Locate this midpoint at this base. Click and locate the middle of this line. Click and press enter. Now we have this. Next, click this door. Click scale. Click. Locate the base midpoint down here. Click and release your hands from the mouse. Type 0.5. Press enter on the keyboard. Now you are going to have this. Next, this hash is on top of the door. We are going to click this and press delete on the keyboard. Next, I will click this door. Click move and move it off from this building. Next, I will type trim. Press enter twice. Trim here off. Press enter on the keyboard. I will click this. Click move. Pick it from this base and drop it here. Next, I will pick the line tool. Click here. Track to this point. I will type 240 and press enter twice. Next, I will pick the line command again. Click here. Track gradually. Now I will type 260. Enter twice. Now I should have this. Next, type extend and press enter. Click this to touch the door. Next, click this to touch the door. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, type hatch and press enter. Still under gray and still under the gravel. Click. The scale remains 15. Click here, click here, click here and press enter. Next, click this, reduce this to 5 and press enter. Press escape on the keyboard. You should have this. Next, zoom open. Next, pick the line tool. Click this point. Direct your mouse up. Type 300. Press enter twice. Click this line. Click copy. Pick it from this base and drop it here. And also drop this at this point. press enter on the keyboard. Next, pick the line command. Click this point, press enter. Pick the line command again. Click this point, press enter. Next, click this, click copy. Click this line at this point and drop it here. Locate the middle of this line and click this and press enter. Click this superimposed line, press delete on the keyboard. Next, down this staircase, pick the line tool, pick this point, track 150, type 150, press enter. Track up, type 300, press enter twice. You should have this. Press escape on the keyboard. Next, click this line, carefully click this line and this line, including this line. Next, click by layer, change the color. Next, click this line weight, choose 0.40, press escape on the keyboard. Type line weight, press enter. Click this display line weight, check this box and click OK. The line weight is now visible. Next, I will click polyline tool. Click this point, 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 and click this point. Press enter on the keyboard. Next, I will click this line and change the color and also increase the line thickness. Press escape on the keyboard. You should have this. Let's dimension the door. Next, click this pull down menu. Select aligned. Click. Zoom a bit open. Click here, and click here. Next, click align button again. Zoom open. Click here, and click here. Next, click aligned again. Zoom open. Click here, and click here. Next, zoom open. Click aligned again. Click here, and click here. Next, click aligned again. Click here, and click here. Next, type PROP for properties. Press enter. This dialog box will appear. Next, highlight all these aligned dimensions. In this dialog box, scroll down and look for text. Under text, locate text height. Delete this 2.5. Increase this to 15 and press enter. We're going to increase this height. Let's try 50 and press enter on the keyboard. Let's try 100. Let us go with 100. I'll press escape on the keyboard. Now we have this. Next, scroll open. Pick the line tool. Click here and track. This is 150. I'll press escape on the keyboard. Next, I will type dim edit and press enter. Next, click oblique. Click this, press enter on the keyboard. Type 150 and press enter. This is aligned to 150. Press enter again to activate dim edit. Select oblique. Click this 800. Press enter. Type 150 and press enter. We're going to click this and stretch it here. Let's do this so that both of them will be aligned. We have this. Next, for this 50, pick the line, click here, track 210, press escape, type dim edit and press enter. Select oblique, click this, press enter, type 210 and press enter. Now we have this. Instead of 210, I will do Ctrl Z. Let's go this way, down by 270 degrees. I will type dim edit, press enter, select oblique, click this, press enter, type 270 and press enter. This is better. Next, I will select the line tool, pick this point. Let's align this to 30 degrees. I'll press escape on the keyboard. Next, I will type dim edit. I'll press enter. Select oblique, click this, press enter, type 30 and press enter. This is fine. This will also be 30 degrees. I'll press enter again. Select oblique, select this, press enter and type 30 and press enter. This is fine. This door here, everything is 1/2 of everything here. That is, click aligned, select here and click. You see, this is 450 while this is 900. Click this and we're going to increase that to 100. That's the test height. Press enter and we have this. Dim edit, press enter, oblique, the angle is 150 and press enter and we have this. Next, I will click aligned, click here and click here. Click aligned again, click here, click this end and drop this here. Aligned again, click here and drop it here. Aligned again, click here and drop it here. Next, aligned again, select here and drop it here. Next, I will click on this, click on this, select this and select this. All of them should have the same property. I will increase the test height all to 100 and press enter. We should all have this. I'll press escape on the keyboard. Next, if this is 150, this should also be 150. That is, dim edit and press enter. Oblique, this is 1000. I will select that, press enter, type 150 and press enter. We have this. For this, pick the line tool, click this, track. This is 30 degrees. I'll press escape on the keyboard. Dim edit, press enter, select oblique, click this, press enter, type 30 and press enter. This should also align 30 degrees. I'll press enter, oblique, select this, enter. I will type 30 and press enter. This is aligned at 30 degrees. This is also aligned at 30 degrees. For this, dim edit again, select oblique, click this, press enter. This is 270. I'll press enter. Next, press enter again, oblique, select this, press enter. This is 150. I'll press enter. With this, I have dimensioned most part of this staircase, including the door. I will select all these dimensions, including those of the doors. All of them have the same property. I will go to the property and change the color. Let me select a particular color here. I will go for gray. I will click. Let me go for a lighter gray. This is fine. I will click OK. I will close this dialog box. Press escape on the keyboard. We now have this. I will type zoom on the keyboard. Press enter. I will click here, create a window around this and click. You should have this. Next, click this capital letter A. Click save as. Save this project with a name. Now you have saved your drawing. Next, we're going to print this work and convert it to a PDF. This drawing and this drawing. All the drawings are on the same model space, this and this. Next, select layout 1, the tab very close to the model space. I will click this. Automatically, it will pull in all the drawings that we have done. You can observe the thickness of our lines. Leave this. Go back to your model space. Type line weight. Press enter. Uncheck this display line weight. Click OK. Go back to your paper space and you can see the difference. Next, we're going to click this. Delete everything here by pressing delete on the keyboard. Next, right click. Select Page Setup Manager. Click Modify. Here, you're going to select the paper that you want to use. We're going to select Landscape, which is this, and A4. You can select any paper size that you want from here, but the paper size that I want to use is A4. Next, click OK. Click Close. The paper size here is A4 and is landscape. Next, we're going to pull in our drawing. We're going to type viewport and press enter on the keyboard. I will click single. Click OK. I will click here and click here. Next, I will type viewport again. Enter. Click single. Click OK. I will click here. Click here. Next, type viewport again. Press enter. Click single. OK. I will click here and click here. Click here. Click move. And move this off a bit. Next, if you try to scroll open, this paper will move with the object. Next, down here, click paper. Now, I'm going to click inside here and do this. I will type zoom. Press enter. Click here and click here. This will be fine. Next, I will click inside here and I will zoom open like this. This is fine. Next, I will click inside here and I will zoom open like this. You can arrange your drawings just the way you want it to be. Let me use this as an example. If I have my title block, this is where I will bring in my title block. This layout 1, click on it, right click and rename it. Call it A4 staircase drawing. Next, I will right click here. This time around, I will select plot because I've already selected Page Setup Manager before. Now, I will select plot. Next, I will select printer plotter. I will select AutoCAD PDF high quality print.pc3. Click. Next, I will click PDF options. Here, I will select 4800 for the vector quality, and for the raster image quality, I will select 4800. I will click OK. Click OK again. Next, I will click Apply to Layout. This will now be applied to A4 staircase. Next, I will click Preview. This is my work in PDF. I'll press Escape on the keyboard. I will click OK. AutoCAD will now ask me, where do I want to save this PDF file? I will select the folder where I will save this work. You can decide to change the name or you leave it with what AutoCAD has given to you. Click Save and wait for it. This is our work now in PDF. You can decide to keep this on your computer or send it straight to the printer. From the paper space environment, I can send this straight to the printer without converting it to PDF. I will right click, select plot. Instead of selecting this to PDF, I will select a particular printer here. Make sure the printer is installed. Then send this straight to that printer by clicking OK. This will print your work without converting it to PDF. In this AutoCAD page, you have your paper space and we also have our model space. Any arrangement you have done on your paper space do not affect your model space. This is dedicated for your design and your drawing, while this is dedicated for printing purposes. I hope these basics was helpful. Your own task is to design this window. I will see you in the next drawing project.